Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, friends and family, for all coming out today. My name is Raina Dennis, and this is my persuasive speech. Now, to start off, I have a quote by Donna Talarco, founder of Hippocampus magazine, and it goes as follows. Technology allows more people to tell more stories in more ways. Storytelling knows no boundaries. I believe that print and web can work beautifully together. Now, in today's age, technology is becoming more and more popular instead of doing ways in the traditional style. However, it's not always the best way of doing things. Today, I'm here to convince you that ebook readers are not a good decision. I have always been a lover of books and an avid reader, but when ebooks began to blossom, I was never one to join the bandwagon. I have done a lot of research concerning this subject, from reading various articles discussing the advantages and disadvantages of ebook readers, and reading scientific studies regarding ebooks versus paper books. Now, everybody has their own personal preference, but I'm hoping that after my speech today, I will have convinced you that paper books are far more superior than ebook readers. Today, I will be discussing the advantages and disadvantages that switching to an ebook reader has, and my position on this topic. Now that you know what I plan to discuss today, let's dive into the debate of whether switching to an ebook reader is good. Reading from ebooks has many benefits, and it's often one of the first things that people think of when purchasing one. Ebook readers are great at portability. People often love that when things make their life easier and more convenient, and it is very attractive to people. And it is a crowd pleaser. Ebook readers are very small and light and easy to fit into purses and small bags. Ebook readers also have a high capacity. Now, instead of having to carry around 4 or 5 different books, you can now have more than 200 copies of books on one small little device, and you don't have to carry around those couple extra pounds. Now, according to lifehack.org, ebook readers also help you to gain a lot of free space in your room. Instead of having to dedicate one whole room to your library, you now have them all on your small device. You also don't lose books as often. With free programs on your device, you can also organize your books on your device like a pro. Ebook readers are also good for the environment. According to Greenpoint Publishing, paper printing industries consume 16 million tons of paper each year, and that's 32 million trees. These companies also leave a huge carbon footprint, which causes a lot of pollution. Ebook readers are 30% of the sales of books. Now, that will save 9.6 million trees and help to reduce pollution and save energy. Ebook readers also bring instant gratification to people. Nowadays, when people want something, they want it now. Now, with just the push of a button from your fingertip, you have it right in front of you, instead of having to wait for orders to arrive or from wandering stores for hours to look for the book that you want. You can also change the font of your book. Now, depending on the format of your ebook reader, you can change the font size. And this can be appealing to people that are hard of seeing. And if your format does not allow changing the font size, you can also zoom in, which is not as convenient, but still a plus. Now that I have gone over the disadvantages of switching to an ebook, now that I've gone through the advantages of switching to an ebook, we will now discuss the disadvantages of switching to an ebook. One thing that people may not think of is how detrimental ebooks can actually be. Piracy is a #1 main concern for publishers and authors. Traditional style books, in order to copy them, you have to use a machine that costs a lot of time and money. And this type of copying usually prevents piracy. But now with ebooks, You can simply just share a file online with your friends or copy it. Many people will prefer being able to hold a traditional book in their hands. For those of us reading a book in bed before signing off, we normally don't want to be staring at a cold, hard device. We want something that's comfortable in our hands and familiar. Ebook readers also use something that is called an LCD screen. Now, staring at this screen causes a glare, and if the lighting is not correct, then you may not be able to see what you are reading. Staring at these screens can also cause your eyes to be dry and sore, and also tires your eyes very quickly, according to the Indian University study. It is also very hard to find which device formats you perfectly. There are lots of devices out there, and not all of them are right for you. Now, all of them have lots of different spacing and paragraphing, which then reading can turn into a tedious chore. Ebook readers are also battery powered. So have you ever had to try to plug in your paper book into the wall? No. They have an unreliable lifespan. You don't want to be reading your book, and all of a sudden, midway through your steamy romance, it dies. Now that we have talked about the advantages of not switching to an ebook, we can go to my position. Now, paper books are better than ebooks, and the proof is in the pudding. When we review the advantages and disadvantages, paper books are far more superior. Paper books are more comforting to people. It's actually science. From a 2009 study from American Chemical Society, the degradation of paper products actually produces the woody and vanilla smell that we all know and love. Reading from ebooks has proven to have many disadvantages. It is bad for your eyesight. It can be distracting due to the easily accessible internet right at your fingertips. And I will never think twice about joining that bandwagon of switching to an ebook. I personally enjoy the feel, the smell, and the satisfaction I get when I finish a book and can finally place it on my bookshelf. Now that I have gone through all the main points, I will go to my concluding statements. Now that you are more familiar with the situation of paper books versus ebooks, it is time for me to wrap up. Today we learned the position of ebooks versus paper books. I have spoken about the advantages of ebooks, the disadvantages of ebooks, and my position on this subject. The next time you consider buying a Kindle to do all your reading from, consider my position on them and why it would be better to continue reading from paper books. Thank you for your time.